Hello everyone, welcome to another Beatles Finds video. I wanted to get a video up here because it's been a while. I do not have that many Beatle finds, but I thought it would be kind of interesting. I have one piece of vintage Beatles memorabilia from the 60s, and I have some records and some gifts. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the vintage piece of memorabilia right away. Okay, no wasting time here. It is a Remco doll from the 60s. This one being John Lennon. I've already had one of Paul and one of Ringo, and now I have John. I do not have George yet, and you can see there's a little wear on the guitar. It's hard to find these with the guitar, the instruments actually intact. And I am certainly hoping this is original because I know these are faked too. And sure, let them come. Let the opinions come if you think it's not. And I'll take it up with the person who sold this to me. But, I think it is. It has all this stuff there. I think it's authentic. This is a hard body. These come like soft and also like solid. This is more of a solid one. So I'm happy to have this, and just gotta find George, and then I'll have a complete set of the Remco figures. Okay, this is an unusual item. It's a record from France, and it says Northern Songs, the Lennon and McCartney compositions the Beatles never issued. Now, if you look, I didn't notice this right away until after I looked at it for a bit, but that's actually the building from the cover of the Please Please Me album. At first it just looks like an orange design, but you can see that it's actually the building. And of course, to try to sell this, it says collector's item. Sorry about that. Some noise here. Northern Songs, the Lennon and McCartney compositions that the Beatles never issued. And I think the group is Revolver, because on the bottom here it says by Revolver, and it has all the songs, not by different artists, but by this apparently group Revolver. And you can take a look at that if you like, if you want to freeze that. And it says made on Merseyside. I don't know what that is. The record label, Rocks, ROX. I played this one day. I was in my store when I was thinking of purchasing this, and I played it. And I got to tell you, as interesting as it is, there are 17 tracks on here, and after a bunch, they start to sound a little similar. I've always been a believer that most of the songs the Beatles gave away, they gave away with a good reason. Although some of them I really do love. Among my favorites are Bad to Me, World Without Love. I think of all the songs that the Beatles did not record that they gave away, I think World Without Love was probably the best. Also, I think that the song I'll Be On My Way is really good. Those are my two favorites. Three. Bad to Me, World Without Love, and I'll Be On My Way. Maybe one day I'll do a video ranking the songs the Beatles gave away, from favorite to least favorite to most favorite. Okay, let's go into some gifts that I got recently. A lot of times people don't want to really be known. In the comment section, I'll let this person tell me if he wants to take the credit for it. But I had recently gotten a vinyl copy of an original of Beatlemania with the Beatles. That's a Canadian release that came out in, I think it was, was it late 63 or early 64, I think. But anyway, the person said, oh, you know what I'll do if you want? I'll make you a copy. I'll burn you a copy of a CD. This is a copy of his album. And he sent it to me. And what it really is stereo, really. It's stereo separation. You have the vocals on one side and the music on the other side, which I've never liked. I mean, I'm glad to have this. Believe me, I played it already. But, I hope that someday they're able to do this over again, Giles Martin or whomever, and we can actually get proper stereo mixes of these things where the vocal centered somehow and the music, it just like, I don't know, encompasses everything around it, but it's not necessarily just one side music, one side singing. That's not something I like, but I am glad to have it. I collect these things. So thank you for that gift. Also, from my friend Tom, he sent me a package, and first in there we have this mini poster. It's a yellow Submarine mini poster, and it's from Japan. And when you check out the back, you can see the Asian print on there. And also in the same package, it sent me a script also, an original shooting script of the movie Light of Day, starring Joan Jett and Michael J. Fox. I did that in a couple of videos ago. If you want to see that, I showed that. Tom had that in the same package. But he also had this, which is a vintage Beatles magazine. And how cool is that? All that kind of like tabloid kind of writing down on the bottom there. It's always awkward when you're showing magazines because it's hard to do that on camera unless you lie the magazine down, really, or the book. And already, I'm running the risk of damaging it a little bit. I don't want that to happen. I like here they have John Lennon. They have bios on the Beatles. John, an angry young man. I guess even back then they were doing that hype, huh? But and then we got Ringo. What's so funny? Paul, I'll never change. We are different, George. Okay, see if I can find a couple more photos here to show of the Beatles. This is funny. The fans. And then we flipped our wigs. All right. Okay, thank you very much, Tom. Okay, I already have a complete collection of the U.S. Beatles 45 picture sleeves. But, I found this one for dirt cheap. I mean, it's really in great shape, considering the Beatles, Help, and I'm Down. So I decided to get another one. And the 45, it does have the little bit there where it says, well, this one says from the motion picture Help. Sometimes you have one that says from the film 8 Arms to Hold You. Oh, I tell you, I just dropped the 45, folks. It's not going to be on a blooper reel. You try to show things here, and you run the risk of damaging things when you do that. But, hey, look, at least I can share it with you. Is it worth it? You tell me. I think it is. All right, this is a record that, as a collector, you have to buy these things. You're collecting stuff, but the material on here, this is more of the Tony Sheridan stuff that we have so many times. But I've never seen this one before. This is from France, from 1982. And I just thought this was really an interesting cover. Nice piece. Look at the back, though. The songs on here, they hardly have any. It's funny because they don't even give you the whole selection. Look at that. What is that? 8 songs? But, how many times can you have these? I don't know. As long as the covers are interesting, I can have them a lot of times. And that's the label. All right. Next item up. I'm very surprised that I have not one, not two, but 3 copies of this next item I'm going to show. I don't even know if I need one. I mean, I need one for collector's purposes, but for playing purposes, it's the John and Yoko wedding album from 1969. As you can see, there is a Japanese obi strip on here. I got this for a really good price, and I figured, you know, because it's got the obi strip, because it's a Japanese import, I will buy it. Now, this is says Odeon, the Odeon label. EMI Odeon, I should say. The wedding album, not much to listen to, you know, really, as we know, but it's really cool. The packaging in here is very excessive, and it's fun to collect it for the packaging. I will not open it. I know people, why, you're not going to open it? Why? I mean, we all know what's in the wedding album, don't we? I mean, I've opened this before. I've got 3 copies of this. I've got the US box vinyl, original. I've got a reissue that came out a year or so ago that has a white vinyl, brand new reissue, that is sealed and unopened, and I haven't opened that and shown that either. And now I have the Japanese. So 3 copies of this rather thick album that takes up a lot of space. And what can I tell you, folks? I said it before, and I'll say it again. This button proves it here. I'm an official Beatles collector. What can I tell you? Anyway, thanks, everybody. Wash those hands. Protect yourself from the virus.